Hey everyone, Brad Cohen with Funkhauser Real Estate Group. I am here live today to shoot a quick video. I have Bree on the line with me who has a couple of questions about buying and selling at the same time. So we're going to answer those.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Brad. How are you today?
I am good. It is a lot warmer here and it's supposed to snow this weekend, so you know.
Yeah. It was supposed to snow here today, but it went by us, so I'm happy about it. All right. So I have a few questions for you, like you said, about buying and selling at the same time. So I guess my first question is, are you seeing a lot of these situations in your market right now?
Not a ton, but we do see them. And there's a lot of people, like I said, that are kind of working through the process of maybe move up homes. And so those are the people that we typically see it most frequently with. So I wouldn't say that it's a huge percentage of our market, but it definitely is. It's definitely occurring enough to be aware of.
Okay, so I hear these terms a lot, and I'm just wondering what the difference is. What is a contingent buyer and what is a non-contingent buyer?
Good question. So a contingent buyer is somebody who is going to sell their house, or rather who has to sell their house before they can buy a new one. A non-contingent buyer is qualified and ready to take action right now. So obviously there's pros and cons with each one of them, but the main idea is if you are contingent, you have to sell a property first. If you are non-contingent, you are ready to make an offer right now.
All right, so I guess that leads me to my next question. What are the pros and cons of buying a home before selling your existing one?
Flexibility in moving is definitely an immediate pro. I actually just had clients close today that they were non-contingent buyers, so they did have a home that they were selling, but they were qualified without having sold that home. So the nice thing was they were able to close on their new home that they are buying today, and they still have another 2 weeks before their sale closes on the home that they're moving out of. So they've got a 2 week overlap to be able to coordinate moving logistics, and that makes things a lot easier for them. Cons, geez, I guess the biggest thing is if you're non-contingent. Well, I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought there. Can we go back to the question?
Yeah. So I had asked what the pros and cons are of buying a home before you sell the existing one.
Okay, so buying before, it basically, the biggest pro is that you've got the flexibility in your moving timeline. It gives you the time to look around. The cons are you could end up potentially with a double payment if you can't get your property sold in a timely manner and then you move into your new one. You may be in a situation where you have two mortgages, and that's obviously a scary thought for a lot of people.
That is a very scary thought. So now I guess I would ask, what are the pros and cons of selling your home before buying the new one?
So the first thing is it gives you a stronger negotiating position. That's the biggest pro, I would say, is if you don't have to sell a home, you're ready to buy right away, then you have the strongest negotiating position as a buyer with the seller. If you have to sell a home first, you have to put in what's called a kick-out contingency or a home sale contingency. And in doing so, you run the risk of potentially not being ready to buy the house that you want when it comes available. In our market, we're not seeing a ton of sellers accepting contingencies for openly listed property. If they're going to accept a home sale contingency, more than likely your property already has to be under contract and kind of on its way to closing before they'll be willing to accept that. So that's the major drawback, is you're less likely to have the strongest negotiating position, and you're also more likely to, or rather it's unlikely that you will win out in a multiple offer situation.
Okay, so what are just some general tips to prepare anybody for this kind of a situation?
First of all, avoid it if at all possible. If you can if you can qualify to buy without having to sell a current property, that's the most ideal situation. It gives you the most flexibility, and depending on your selling situation, you also are able to then market your property knowing that you don't have any ties to it. So If you can at all or at any point avoid it, that's possible. However, the biggest thing is also the best advice I can have is to work with the same agent on both sides when you're buying and selling, because that way we can facilitate the timeline to meet your needs and to make sure that you don't have any double payments and that you have the strongest negotiating position.
Okay, so that's all the questions I have for you today. It was super helpful. But if I do have any more questions for you, how should I get in touch?
Feel free to comment on my Facebook page. I'm always patrolling that. You can email me, brad@bradcohenhomes.com, or always get me on my cell phone, 540-830-7239.
Awesome, Brad. Well, thank you so much for having me on for your Facebook Live Friday, your very first one. It's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for joining me, and look forward to doing this again here in a couple weeks.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.